nursing. As all of you know, a job of an university is to not only educate, train, and then bring out quality education outcomes in all its faculty, be it medical, dental, or nursing, or pharmacy, or Ayush, or whatever. Keeping that in mind, RGHS has been always in the forefront, encouraging, updating programs, continued education programs, nursing education programs, then training faculty members in education methodologies, training faculty members in research methodologies, and such activities are there throughout the year. Our RGHS, Academic and Administrative Training Institute, RATI, has been very active in training the faculty members. In fact, we have, have a very ambitious program of training all the faculty members within a very short period of 3 years. We have already covered a lot of ground in that, and whatever is remaining, probably we'll like to cover up within the next 1 year. It is also the wish of Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences to take control over the training programs of faculty members with the following ideas. One is any new entrant into the colleges, be it a nursing college or a medical college or whatever institute under RGHS, the new entrant should undergo compulsory training in teaching methodologies, compulsory training in research methodologies. Only then he should be able to teach students. So that should happen very early soon after his appointment. So we are devising a mechanism where each college reports to us the moment they appoint a new teacher or a fresh graduate. So they should undergo compulsory training so that the outcome would be much better. And very early in their career, they would know what to teach, how much to teach, what to tell the students, and the correct methodologies employed. The quality would be much better. That is what we are looking at. If the foundation is very good and the teaching methodologies are adopted as per the requirements, then slowly the faculty will inculcate in their postgraduates and in their undergraduates a sense of responsibility, a sense of in a research bent of mind, and then which all definitely translates into better outcomes. So that is what is the goal of Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences. Keeping that in mind, and also I'm aware that nursing faculty is the only faculty which has a curriculum which is incorporated with research methodologies, unlike other faculties where they are not exposed to. We have to have separate programs for the other faculties, whereas in nursing faculty, all of them, they have in their curriculum itself, and that is why the PhD programs, there is a lot of nursing faculty who take up pursue PhD program as well. So keeping all this in view, Rajiv Gandhi Institute of Health Sciences has been in the forefront, encouraging national webinars, because webinars are more important because of this COVID era. Otherwise, national seminars, physical meetings would have been possible, which is now has become a virtual meeting. Nevertheless, the message is sent across, the work is being done, and faculty are being exposed to whatever is the latest in the field. And today's topic, quality publication nursing, is much more important. How much ever you tell, any number of times you repeat, any number of times you do this program, it's always an evergreen program, because there will always be freshers who would learn from this. And those who have already been in the program, been in the faculty for quite some time, will also get refreshed. Very recently, last week, we had invited speakers from BIRAC. We had invited speakers from Welcome DBT Trust to tell us as to how to write a grant, how to secure a grant from the various national agencies which are always there to fund very good research projects. So this actually completes the whole spectrum. Starting from what are the trends in publication, to what are the how do you publish articles in journals, then how do you write a quality article. Maybe I'm going in the reverse order, but anyway, that's how it is. A faculty should know as to how to put across his ideas and get research done, a focused research, and then which translates into a good article published in a good index journal which will also get a lot of exposure. And that should be the motto. And towards that, RGHS has made all efforts. We have been organizing webinars, we have been publishing journals specifically to different faculties. Nursing faculty also has its own journal, and also we are encouraging PhD programs, and we are also funding research for the faculty. And what more do you want? We have also started undergraduate research as well. So these are the things which an university can do, and we are now come a complete circle to encourage and to create an academic atmosphere in the university, and also to encourage research to a fuller extent. Even if there is any other ideas that you can think of where it can be implemented and brought to the notice of the faculty members, you could always, you're welcome. I'm sure the speakers from across the country, I especially welcome the guest speakers, Dr. S. J. Nalini from Sri Ramchandra Institute of Higher Education and Research, Chennai, Dr. Smriti Arora from professor from Amity University, Haryana, Dr. Indira Armugam from Dean Nellore College of Nursing, NTR University, for our as guest speakers. We welcome you all, and I hope at the end of the day, there are key take-home messages for the delegates who are participating, and it translates into action as well. I wish you all good luck, and RJ, with a word that RGHS is always there to help such activities and further any such academic activities that is essential for the career development of faculty members. Thank you so much. I wish you all good luck. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Now I request Dr. Mahendra, Director, Prasaranga RGHS Bangalore,
Geeta?
to give keynote address. I request all of you, please mute your mic, please. Mute.
Thank you, Dr. Ramu. With the permission of our Honorable Vice Chancellor, I would like to address the core issues here in this keynote address. The topic itself, emerging trends and issues in quality publications in nursing faculty. Thanks to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, the Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences, as soon as our Vice Chancellor took office, the editorial board was reconstituted, and Dr. Clement became the editor-in-chief. And I'm happy to inform everybody that Nursing Journal is one of the journals that is up to date and ready for indexing. So the issue here is the publications as an activity is sadly lacking in many faculties, and even in nursing we find that routine reporting of research and activities is happening, but what we need is quality publications, quality research. The life cycle of any research activity of any academic institution includes not only planning an activity, not only implementing an activity, not only drawing conclusions and making sense out of this entire activity, but publishing and disseminating this activity so that the message or the information reaches the target population. Now, unfortunately, this is lacking, and today the mad rush because of the pressure to publish, because everybody says publish or perish. There has been a rise of a lot of predatory journals and a lot of undesirable activities in the academic front. However, in our university, thanks to the lead taken by the Honorable Vice Chancellor and the editorial board, we are having some quality publications, and I'm sure going forward, trainings like this will become the new normal. As our Honorable Vice Chancellor said, the online platform provided by Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences, all of you will already be aware, but I want to reiterate that we have crossed more than 120 training programs in the online mode. We have addressed to the training needs of more than 1.5 lakh trainees. So in this background, this training also assumes a lot of significance. I note with a lot of happiness that the structure of the program itself caters to the entire gamut of the issues at hand. like for example, overview of emerging trends. Now, many research activities, the authors are at a fix to find a suitable publication, a target journal for their publications, for their articles. Now, once the authors, the guides, get an understanding of the background of journals, their focus areas, their interests, so it becomes easier for them to approach publications with their articles. Then editorial issues. Now, this I think Clement will be the right person. Suitably, he has selected the topic. Right from simple issues of language, structure, and scientific temperament, because many of the authors that we see, they become activists in their articles because they have so much faith in their own studies and their own works. They sort of sacrifice the scientific element at the altar of activism. Now, those issues will be settled. Drafting a quality article is what makes the article, one, acceptable to journals for publication, two, raises the interest of the reader, three, effectively communicates what needs to be communicated. Many times we see after reading an article, the reader comes out more confused than he was when he started reading the article. Now, this sort of issues have to be addressed. Then, standards of accreditation, yes, some discussion in this would also help us in the university so that we are in the middle of the process of indexing. And the legal and ethical issues. Now, one of the major issues that I have noticed, even as a very junior researcher, and that continues to date, is the dishing out of authorship on friendship. The question of sequencing of authors, the question of what is the contribution of the author to the article, to the research activity itself. Now, authorship is a very serious issue, plagiarism is a very serious issue. Then the issue of publication ethics is a major issue that needs to be addressed, more so in the youngsters who are coming into this, because many of the predatory journals, I have no hesitation in telling this, predatory journals are destroying research and publication in this country. I know some predatory journals where an article is published fast tracked with some amount of money, and articles are written by ghost writers for adequate amount of money. So this sort of unhealthy, I would even go to the extent of saying illegal activity should be overcome by the active intervention of seniors in the profession, guides and teachers. I take this opportunity to congratulate the Dean of Nursing Faculty, Dr. Ramu, Dr. Clement, and the other eminent speakers. I am sure that this sort of a panel will only serve to further the need of the profession in the area of publications. I thank Honorable Vice Chancellor, sir, for providing this opportunity, much needed and vital opportunity. I thank Mr. Amarnath for all the background work and support, the registrar for permitting, and I wish all the participants all the very best. Thank you.
Very good morning to one and all. I am privileged to introduce Dr. Ramu K, Professor, Dean of Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences, Bangalore, and also Principal, RR College of Nursing. Sir has contributed so much to the profession by his writings, contributing various national and international seminars, conferences, symposium, workshops, and also he contributed with textbooks. And I'm happy to introduce Dr. K. Ramu for giving a brief introduction about this topic.
Slide.
Kirti, heading.
Slides, sharing.
ಕೆಳಗಡೆ
ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೆ ಸರ್ ಆಗಲೇ ಚೆಕ್
ಕೀರ್ತಿ
ಮಾಡಿದೆ.
ಇದನ್ನ ಆನ್ ಮಾಡಿ.
ಶಿವು ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಶಿವು ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ.
ವಾಟ್ಸಪ್ ಬರ್ತಾರಲ್ಲ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಪೆನ್ ಡ್ರೈವ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಅದು ಏನಂದ್ರೆ ಕಳಿಸಿದ್ರು.
ಆಯ್ತಪ್ಪ.
ಹಾಂ
ಆಯ್ತಾ?
ಹೌದು.
ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ ಸರ್ ವಾಟ್ಸಪ್ ಕಳಿಸಿ. This is the problem. ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಷನ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಈ ಥರ ಆದರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಕಳಿಸ್ಬಿಡಿ.
ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರು ಶೇರ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್.
ರಾಮು ಅವರು ಫೈಲ್ ನೇಮ್ ಏನು ನಿಮ್ಮದು?
ಎಮರ್ಜಿಂಗ್ ಟ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ಸ್.
ಎಮರ್ಜಿಂಗ್ ಟ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್
ಆಗಲೇ ಕೊಟ್ಟ ಸರ್.
ಬೇಗ ಮಾಡಿ. ಆಯ್ತಪ್ಪ.
என்ன படிச்சிருக்கீங்க?
These are overhauls. ಯಾಕೆ ಈ ಥರ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ? ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಇದೇ ಥರ ಆಯ್ತು.
You're all requested to wait for some time because of some technical glitch. It's being held up. It is being set right. In a minute it will be done. Kindly bear with this.
So 110 ಜಾಯ್ನ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್.
122.
ಪ್ರತಿ ಸತಿ ಇದೇ ಥರ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಪ್ರತಿ ಸತಿ ಇದೇ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ.
ಕೆಲವರು ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಬ್ಯುಸಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಸರ್.
ಆಯ್ತು ಸರ್. ಕಿರಣ್ ಕರೀರಿ.
Online classes. Everyone is there. All faculty. Number ಆಗ್ತದೆ.
ವಾಟ್ಸಪ್ಪಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ಸರ್.
ಅದೇ ಸರ್.
ನನ್ನ ನಂಬರ್
ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? ಪ್ರತಿ ಸತಿ ಇದೇ ಥರ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ?
ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಂಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಳಿಸಿದ್ರೆ
ಈಗ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದೇ ಹೊಸ ವರ್ಷದ್ದು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ಶುರು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ.
ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಲ್ಲಿ
ಹೊಸ ಬ್ಯಾಚ್ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ. ಎಕ್ಸಿಸ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಹೈಯರ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಬಾರಿಗೆ ಫ್ಯೂ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಟು ಅವರು ಪಾಠ ಎಲ್ಲ ರೆಕಾರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಟ್
ಕೆಳಗಡೆಯಿಂದ ಹೋಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ.
ಆಗಲೇ ಬಂತಾರೆ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ಸ್.
ಬಂತು ಸರ್, ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲರದು ಬಂತು,
ಎಲ್ಲ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿ
ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಸರ್.
ಇಲ್ಲ, ಹಾಂ ಬಂತು. ಈ ಪವರ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಓಪನ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಮಾತಾಡಿ, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಗೋ ಟು ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಶೋ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ.
ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಶೋ.
Hello, can you hear me? Hello? Can you see the slide, all of you? Hello? ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬೋದಾ? Okay. Thank you so much. I am going to talk on
Yes, sir.
emerging
Yes,
trends
we
in
are hearing you.
publications. Emerging trends in publications. Next slide. Next slide. Yeah, right. Yes, publishing in a nursing journal is a challenging and rewarding experience. You know, the nurse has to sharing her knowledge and expertise. The nurse contribute the body of literature that ultimately, of course, it helps to improve the healthcare, nursing profession, and patient care. Right. And just now, next slide. Just now, our director has told the quality of publication is nursing. Right. Definitely, many publications are there. Nurses are publishing many articles in journals, but there is a quality should be there in the publications. So publishing in journal is a challenging and also need experience, lot of experience. By sharing knowledge and expertise, the nurse has to contribute body of literature that ultimately, of course, three things: it improve healthcare, nursing profession, and patient care. Next slide. Right. Now, writing and publishing, it takes a lot of time and also is challenging work. A published article can lead to wonderful opportunities for professional growth and development. Right? Many of our nursing articles are part of leading journals. Next slide. And if you see some of the examples of publications in nursing, there are plenty of types of publications in nursing. The first one is original research. What is original research? Let me see very briefly about each and every types of publication. Original research is a report of a study written by a researcher who actually did the study. The researcher in this article, what he'll do, he describe the hypothesis, research question, what is the purpose of study, and what is methodology is going to use, and what is the outcome, what is the results of the research. The original research usually appears in scholarly journals. Second example of publication in nursing, systematic review. Name itself, it is there. The review, systematic review, a synthesis of research studies on a given topic and to collect and analyze the data from studies that are included in the review. Right? Third one, next slide. Case study. Yes, this is case study is very, very common in nursing, very common. And you can see in almost all the nursing journals, you can see this. What is case study? It is a description of a single case or a situation with unique features, in-depth and detailed examination of a particular case. In-depth is very important. In-depth and detailed examination of particular case. The case studies are appear in formal research venues, journals, or professional conferences. Yes, dissertation and thesis. This is what is dissertation and thesis? Of course, all of you know this is a document written by our MSc nursing and PhD scholars. Right? It is a document on a scholarly research topic done by a student to fulfill the requirement of attaining advanced degree. Next one. Book.
Government college.
ಅಲ್ಲ ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಸುಕನ್ಯಾ ಅಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್. What is the book? For example, I can say Dr. I. Clement is here. He has written plenty of books. Right? It is, what is this? Authoritative work on a topic within a field and presents a basic information on theories. And next one is the government documents. Right? It is very common nowadays in COVID things. Right? A publication or report of a government agency of any level, it may take the form of original research, agency reports, statutes, laws, and regulations and data. So I think, the traffic signal, if you cross the traffic signal, the police will catch us and put the fine. Statutes, what is statutes? Especially in nursing, it is very common. Nurse Practice Act, INC Act, these are all called as statutes. Next slide. Next slide, please. Next slide, go. Conference paper proceedings, right? Conference paper proceedings. This is, many research presents at conference to solicit feedback on their work and use feedback. Almost all the nursing conferences, the research scholars, they present their paper and get their feedback about their work and then implement that, right? Trade journal and articles, practical information and news and summaries of development within the field. It keeps industry members abreast of new development. That is actually the meaning of journal article, trade journal. It keeps industry members abreast of new developments. Next slide. Number ಕೊಡ್ತೀನಿ ಸರ್, ನೀವೇ ಮಾತಾಡಿ, ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ ಇದೆ. Right. Now, what are the emerging trends? If you see the emerging trends in publications, current emerging trends, the three things. The first one is digital advances, preprints, and open access. These are the three emerging trends. What is digital advances? It is a common to have online access to graphical abstractions that provide overall visual summary of publications and main findings and video articles that present slides with the narration or author speaking about scientific paper. So once again, digital advance means here the author is going to speak on scientific paper. It is a visual summary. Keep it in mind, this is visual summary of main findings of this research. Next one. Preprint, name itself it is there, preprint. So before going to publish, what the researcher, he will publish the part of his work and get the opinion. It is a version of scientific paper that precedes publication in a peer-reviewed journal with the objective of gathering reader prior to journal submission. Here, the committee, the review will go through that. Then once they'll get the green signal, they can go for submission. Open access is very important nowadays. Open access publication, it refers to online peer-reviewed article that has been accepted for publication and are available to read promptly without charge. So what are the benefits of open access? We'll see that some of the benefits. Next slide. Next. Some of the main benefits you can see of the open access: greater transparency, faster dissemination, more scientific collaboration and innovation, and ultimately, of course, finally, you can improve the patient health, right? And next, we'll go to the second type of emerging trend: enhancement to publication planning and scientific communication, right? So our director has told just now in his keynote address. So they're given nearly 120 programs, nearly more than 1 lakh. They're given training. So that means they created a platform. They created a scientific, Rajiv Gandhi University has created a platform that is scientific communication platform. And why this purpose? Increasingly being utilized with the health industry. Their goal is to ensure accurate, consistent language and referencing across all communication activities. Published clinical trials data are the basis for much of the information in these platforms. Right? Next slide. Next slide. And the third emerging trend, previous. Yeah, this is very, very important. Involvement of patient in the university. Involvement. So not only you as a researcher, even the patient has to involve in our publication, in our research studies. So his contribution is necessary. His feedback is necessary in the research work. So we have to take his opinion, right? So patient involvement in the clinical trials as a trial participants has been an area of interest. Patient can now provide input on the study design. See here, patient can now provide input on the study design, on protocol safety assessment, and communication of study results. So this is a very brief about the about today's topic. Next, I'll thank you so much for kind listening. Next, over to Dr. I. Clement. He is going to talk on issues, issues in publication. Now, I request Dr. I. Clement, Chief Editor of Rajiv Gandhi University, is going to he is going to talk on issues in publications. Over to Dr. I. Clement.
PPT one now.
ప్రెజెంట్ కూడా
ಯಾರು ಅದು ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ರಾಮು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಸರ್. ನಮ್ದು ಸರ್, ಮೈ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಷನ್.
ಸ್ಪೀಕರ್ ರೆಡಿಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
They should keep it in one place, either down or up. Actually, full control
His
should be.
problem is he was positive. Please understand why I am telling all this.
ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಬಾರ್ದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸಾರ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಪಾಪ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಕೇರ್ಫುಲ್
If
ಆಗಿ.
he was sitting here, things would have been all right.
No, we need to make some alternative.
What is for me? We need to do so many things. Currently, we have this much. We can do with this much.
Okay.
We have to adjust with this much only. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ PGC ಮಾಡ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ ಸರ್, PGC ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಒಂದು ಪೆನ್ ಡ್ರೈವ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿಕೊಂಡು ಎರಡು ಪೆನ್ ಡ್ರೈವ್ ಒನ್ ಡೇ ಬಿಫೋರ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ.
Yes, sir. Screen.
ಶೋ
ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಡಿ.
slide show.
Very good morning to one and all. I'm very happy, glad to organize this webinar on publications in nursing. I thank the Rajiv Gandhi Vice Chancellor of Rajiv Gandhi University Health Sciences for giving me the permission, and also Dr. B.J. Magendra, Director of Prasaranka, and also the Registrar and the Registrar Evaluation, Registrar General, and also all the Senate and Syndicate member for giving a platform for organizing this webinar. And also I thank all the participants who are joined here for sharing their informations and getting new knowledge from this webinar. Next slide. So this is our journal, previous one.
ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮಾತಾಡೋಣ.
Rajiv Gandhi University Journal, for the past 10-15 years, this is existing. And as Dr. B.J. Magendra sir said, and we are, the current issues means the June 2020 issues are submitted to Rajiv Gandhi University. So I thank all the authors contributed for this journal. And also I need your continuous support and encouragement and participation for giving an article in this journal. And I just coming to the issues of publications. In any publications for nursing fraternity, so they say that there's a lacking, actually there's a lack of interest is seen among the nurses. Why should I publish, and what the benefit I will be getting? There is no immediate benefit. And publishing in Rajiv Gandhi University Journal or any other journal which is contributing journal is very important. Writing an article is very important. It may be a scientific paper or it may be a research paper. It is very important that like we are directly and indirectly supporting to the university and as well as your institution and also for the nursing profession. And whatever the new concept you are contributing from your side, It may be very new, it may be a very new information and challenging information for others to take that information from you. So publication is very important for everybody, and every nurses and every nursing teachers and everybody needs to be motivated to write, contribute to their own thoughts, whatever the small findings they are finding it from the working area, the new thought or new information needs to be shared to others. So that will help for the integration of theory into practice. So these are the some means the publications issues. Number one is lack of interest among the nurses and lack of motivation from the institutions, and also they are confused with where, what and how to publish the article, and also lack of encouragement for publishing, and also lack of recognition. Even they are published and there is no recognition or award. So like that, we have discussed with our vice chancellor and the director. So there will be the every year there will be the best articles will be selected and award will be given for the best articles. And also there are so many plans and so many protocols and new procedures they have made it actually. And coming to this, how to publish the paper in academic journal, and it is very simple. The first thing is you need to decide. Every individual needs to decide, and I need to write an article. I need to contribute some thought to the profession or to the university or to the nursing fraternity. So that idea needs to be created within. So that needs to be delivered. We need to put it in our own words. We need to bring it out, and we need to provide interesting and accurate information and analysis. The steps are: write your manuscript first and then edit it later, and use a visual aids to support your argument, and pick up a journal. Write journal, you need to be taken. There are so many commercial journals are available, as you know that, like people are getting afraid. Means when I publish in this journal, the first question they will be asking it, how much needs to be paid? There are universities are having a journal which is free of cost. Our Rajiv Gandhi University journal is free of cost, and everybody can contribute. That indexing process is almost we are reaching it. So end of this year we will be getting it will be the indexed journal, Rajiv Gandhi University journal. So like there are free journals, and the process will take late actually. It will take for longer time, because it needs to go for, we'll be discussing in the next slide, it will be going for the peer review, and peer review corrections will be taken. It needs to be incorporated, and first the article, when I get it, I need to check the plagiarism, whether it is appropriate. 10% to 15% can be accepted, and more than that we will just tell the author to rewrite or reframe or redo the work actually. So once it is plagiarism is only 10 to 15%, it can be accepted, and also some of the few diagrams and other things we needs to be considered for ethical issues if it is taken from the web, and the permission needs to be taken for that. Next, coming to the publication process, and first the paper, once from the author side the paper is ready and it needs to be submitted to the university or to the concerned person. The first phase, the submission taken place. Second is once the editor gets this publication or the article, it may be a research article, it may be a scientific article, it is going to the second phase is peer review. The editor will be checking for plagiarism, and if it is acceptable for within 15% of plagiarism check, it is accepted, then it is going to the next step and for peer review. So it will be sent one to the south and north. The eminent person, the peer review, the content and the quality of the article and the need of the articles will be, the suggestions will be given by the peer reviewer. And once we get the peer reviewer, the article and the peer reviewer report will be sent to the concerned person, concerned author, and then if when we get the modified corrections and as per the peer reviewer committee's report, and the modifications needs to be done by the author, then it will be resent to the editor, and the phase 3 is the corrections will be taken place, and also the editorial team will be setting and aligning the manuscript. And third one is once it is ready, it is confirmed, and there is no without all the queries and everything is answered properly, then next it will be going for publication. It is the fourth phase. So it will be taking for 3 months process for making a quality journal. So it will be a quite very difficult and challenging process. Everybody needs to understand, but we need to be systematically, we need to give a good product to our publication to the public. And next one is peer review process. I just want to bring down, give some information about peer review. First, the manuscript will be sent to the author, and next one is this will be going to the journal editor, and there will be a plagiarism will be checked. And third process is it will be sent to the reviewer for any problem or anything needs to be rewritten. And second, it will be sent to the reviewer, and again the editor will be getting it, and this will be sent to the reviewer, means peer review committee and peer reviewer. And once it is finalized, it is confirmed that if it is ready for publication, then the editorial process will be starting it. Need for writing. Why we need to write journals, means the article. Number one is it is self-development. It is a self-recognition for everybody. People will be thinking about like, why should I write? What is the benefit is there for me? And if I contribute into the article, and it's a beneficial, it's a benefit for the individual as well as for the profession. So everybody, every individual, every nurse needs to understand that, like, when you are contributing something to the profession, there's a beneficial information you are sharing to others. So it is for self-development. And also some of the institutions, they are having a protocol. When you publish 3 or 4 articles in a index journal or in a publication in a professional journal, and the promotion, salary increment, and all these things are there. So like that, every institution should plan for promoting this publication, and every institution should have a policy. Once if you do this many publications, and if you do the publications, this many publications, your promotion from assistant professor to associate professor or whatever the higher positions, and also salary increment. Like example, I just want to say that like CMC, Christian Medical College, they have a protocol. This many publications every year, the nurse or nursing teacher or the professor needs to be done this many publications. And that will be based on that the promotion and also the salary increment will be taken place. So like that, every institution should make a policy and saying that they should motivate the staff to contribute or publish the article. It may be a research article, it may be a concept article, but something they should need to do for the profession. And also it's a professional accountability. When the nurses are contributing to the article or publishing the research journal or publishing the research findings, and they are accountable. Every nurse is accountable for contributing one or the other way, directly or indirectly, by this publication, and sharing the knowledge, which helps for sharing the knowledge, which is very much helpful for incorporating or integrating the theory into practice. Now there are COVID situation. There are nurses are working in a different setup, and they are facing a lot of problems, and that needs to be identified, that needs to be brought to the profession. And there are new informations, or it may be the technique, the nursing skills, what they are using it. So that small minor changes or minor findings which can be contributed through publications. And also there's an insightful thinking, and their innovative, creative ideas needs to be shared through publications, and also which helps for solving lot of problems, which helps for the career development and expansion of knowledge. And what the nurses will be commonly asking, what should I write, how I should write, and give me some suggestions like that. It can be a nursing case study or care plans can be published, and that information, whatever it may be, what you have done in the case study and care plan, that can be shared to all. Any new information or new concept which you want to contribute to the profession, that can be published, that can be done through the publications. And also professional experiences, your own experiences, your contributions, your ideas, your thought, your innovative, motivative, inspirative words can be published. Your experience is valuable here. And there are a lot of legends and leaders are here in nursing profession. When everybody just contribute, unite together, and when they contribute with their ideas, it can be the one of the strongest profession in the world. And next one, research work. There are a lot of researches conducted by the nurses, as Dr. Magendra and our Vice Chancellor sir said. Lot of researchers are conducting, and there are lot of new informations are bringing out, and that needs to be shared through publications to others. We cannot, like previously, when you want to see the research work, we will go to CMC Vellore or we'll go to RAK New Delhi to the library and just writing all the review of literature. But now everything is available in the net, in the online. When you put Google or when you go for Sinal, and all these websites are available right now. So every nurse, like in their place, and they can see all the informations, like all the research work. When the nurses are contributing everything to the publications through media, and there are a lot of information, there are a lot of new information, and creative and innovative in things will be shared to one and all. And also the critical views and professional suggestions can be included through publications. And what is publication is makes content available to general public. Like when you are sharing one information or one research concept or one research content, and it will be shared to the public. So anybody from one part of the world to the other part of the world can take the informations and the knowledge can be shared. And it is usually, this publications is usually applied means into the form of text, images, or audiovisual content, including paper, newspaper, magazines, catalogs, etc. And publications as least concern given in nursing, because they ask what is the benefit, immediate benefit to people will be thinking of it. And this is done for the purpose of institutional promotions, salary increments, and one of the compulsory need in the PhD education and postdoctoral educations, because when we are submitting our thesis or submitting our synopsis, and that moment the check is kept there, and we need to do 3 publications or 2 publications. Is very depends upon the university catalog, university policies, and they will be confused where to publish, and they will be approaching here and there, and some agents will be, give me that, I will be doing it, this much money needs to be paid, and all those things. So nothing to get confused. It needs to be planned in earlier. When the research started, it may be a PhD work or it may be MSc work. We need to start the concept. This is my concept. I want to publish it. I want to get a recognition, acceptance from the co-workers, co-professional bodies. And that concept, that thought needs to be that whatever the valuable research are going to. So that needs to be that initial step needs to be taken when the statement of problem started. Next one is nursing publications. Nursing is a professional body which requires a lot of contribution to the nurses. And every day, nurses come with several new information, facts, research activities. This new knowledge needs to be added to the profession, which makes real value and weightage. And also, publication is needed for recommended by the UGC. And many universities are motivating, encouraging the students to write and publish for various journals. And most of the universities having their own journal, like Rajiv Gandhi University. We are motivating all the faculty members and also students to motivate them to write, keep writing, contribute something, their thoughts, their experiences, their practical issues, and all those things can be contributed with the journal. Publication in peer-reviewed journals and also gives international recognition for an individual, department, university, and institution. And also, some of the few steps which will be discussed in the next speaker, Dr. Nalini ma'am will be discussing about how to write an article. Just few lines I just want to mention here. Like mindset to write is very important. Confirm yourself and what you are going to write, and search and recognize the related content review of literature, create a new style, frame and presentation, and make the content is legal free, and select the best publisher for editing and printing it. So it is, as I said, as I mentioned earlier, the benefits for the individual, institution, professional growth, national growth, researchers' growth, and it also part and parcel of curriculum and syllabus formation by the universities. The criteria for professional writing. Professional writing should be always clear and easy to read and follow by others. And every author should also avoid being too casual with the new unfamiliar audience, and even familiar audience should still be written with a respectful and positive tone. I'm concluding here. So writing a professional and academic setting, publishing or writing an article is a challenging work, but it is important to maintain a level of professionalism when communicating these audiences. So I thank Dr. S. Sachidananda sir, Vice Chancellor of Rajiv Gandhi University, for giving a platform to organize this very important and needy webinar. And also I thank Dr. B.J. Magendra, Director, and also Dean, Dr. Ramu, and all the nursing fraternity. I thank one and all. Please contribute and please try to start writing article, and your valuable informations, your ideas, concept, your experience are most welcome by Rajiv Gandhi University of Health Sciences. Thank you. Thanks to one and all.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Clement, it was excellent presentation. Now we'll go to the next session by Dr. S.J. Nalini. Madam, you are online? Madam, Dr. Nalini?
Yes, sir. I'm there online.
Okay, madam. And Dr. S.J. Nalini, she is going to talk on drafting a quality article. And Dr. S. Nalini, before going to start her presentation, let me say a few words about Dr. S.J. Nalini. Dr. S.J. Nalini, MSc, PhD, and right now she is working as a professor and principal, Faculty of Nursing, Sri Ramchandra University of Health Sciences, Ramchandra University, Chennai. She did UG in 1992, PG 2002, PhD in 2011, and she has done a PhD on evaluating effectiveness of educative supportive nursing interventions on clinical indicators and behavioral adherence among women with cervical abnormalities. She is having Dr. S.J. Nalini having nearly 27 years of experience in field of nursing. She has presented 115 papers in various national and international forums. She served and she received Best Research Paper Award for the paper on barriers for follow-up adherence among women with abnormal cervical smear in 10th International Nurses Conference at Sri Ramchandra University, Chennai. And Dr. Janalini has 40 publications to her credit. She serves as a committee member of Internal Quality Assurance Cell, Publication Oversight Committee, College Quality Cell of National Assessment and Accreditation Council, as his Academic Council member, Board of Studies member, and also PhD Syllabus Committee member of Sri Ramchandra University. She also serves an editorial board member and review of nursing journals. She is a 6th research scholar pursuing a PhD under the guidance. She visited the University of Wisconsin, USA, as a part of faculty as a part of faculty exchange program between Sri Ramchandra University and USA. She is recognized as an aspiring research ambassador of Sri Ramchandra University. She is a member of 8-year board of Journal of Advanced Nursing. She serves as executive committee member of St. John's Ambulance Association, Tamil Nadu State Center. Currently, she is working on a ICMR funded research project titled Effect on probiotics and on glycemic control and pregnancy outcomes among women with the gestational diabetes. Now over to Dr. H.J. Nalini, and she's going to talk on drafting a quality article. Madam, what?
A very warm good morning to one and all. Honorable Vice Chancellor of Rajiv Gandhi University and members over there, Dr. Mahendra, the Director of Education, the Dean of RUGHS, Dr. Clement, the editor, other members who are there as resource persons for the day, and dear delegates. I bring the warm greetings from Sri Ramchandra Institute of Higher Education and Research to one and all. I really appreciate the organizing committee for thinking about a discussion today on the publications in nursing. Sir, if you can share my content, I'm not able to share unless you give me the sharing option, I cannot do. Or you can share my PPT. Thank you. Next slide, please. Today, in this academic world, we actually face this issue, is it not? We are either supposed to publish or perish. Taking this in a negative note actually demolishes us. So let us take it in a positive sense. If we publish, we will be able to flourish. Next slide, please. Usually, it is given like a published paper should be like a painting. It is something you start with a broad picture and then you focus on the details, which is minute in nature. So you can push the slides as I finish. Today, we are going to just discuss about how to draft a journal, a quality journal. And these are the objectives of my presentation: to assess your readiness to publish, to discuss the contents that has to be included in a quality journal article, and also to reflect on the golden rules while drafting an article. What makes us, First thing what you're supposed to do is check your readiness to publish. Do you have something, a scientific data in your hand, which is more original, with results in your hand, the methods, or are you trying to redo something which has been already published, trying to rework on that, or reorient yourself or reinforce something which has already been published? Or are you trying to do something, a review like on a subject or a field? If you have any of these work, it indicates that you have something to share with your colleagues by means of publications. If in case you don't have this, if you have outdated data or incorrect conclusions or just duplication of a published work, then it clearly mentions that you're not ready for scientific interest and never attempt to publish. Next up. Now, what makes your manuscript strong? There are three indicators that makes your manuscript strong. One, the scientific clarity you have in the message you want to convey to the members. And the message you convey should be clearly constructed in a logical manner so that the readers are able to grasp the significance. Whatever the author wants to write, in the same way, the reader should understand. So that is what is more important. The editors, reviewers, and the readers, everybody wants a well-presented manuscript. So this makes your manuscript very, very strong. What type of article can I choose? There are three varieties you can choose from. One can be a full article where you have a complete data available, which is more comprehensive in nature, scientific data, which is from the piece of research that you have done. Again, do check whether you have sufficient material so that you can write a full article. The second concept, what you can go for is letter of short communication. This is in fact something which is being used by academicians today. If you want to really go in for a quick and early communication, you can better go for letters or short communication. But only thing what is more important is your communication should be so thrilling for members to get engrossed on whatever you're going to publish. Very recently, one of our medical personnel, he published an article related to the importance of face shield, using face shield during this COVID-19. So it meant to say that using a face shield was very, very, protective enough rather than just using the mask alone. So this information was disseminated in almost all the daily newspapers in Tamil Nadu. So that tells you how important this message was. The third thing can be a review paper which you write, which can be either a summary of the recent development. Probably it is usually done by the invitation from the editor. Next up. Now, how do you structure your article? There are three concepts that you should always remember. First is the title, abstract, and keywords by which anybody can search an article. Today, as Dr. Clement pointed out, we don't go to the libraries, find a book, a journal, and then look for an article. We don't do that. We just use the keywords in order to search for the material, is it not? So the title, abstract, and keywords are very, very essential. The second one is telling your story, what you have done in IMRAD format, what you call it as introduction, methods, results, and discussion. And finally, the context in which you have written, which includes the conclusion, the acknowledgement, and the reference, and the supportive materials that you're going to project in the article. So let me go on into detail of these things that you should highlight in these structure that you're going to give for the article as such. Next up. Yeah. Coming to the title. The smaller the title is, the more citation will happen for your paper. So always see to that the title should be, should talk about the main issue in the paper. It should be very, very concise. At the same time, it should be accurate, unambiguous, specific, and complete. And try to use professional language. Avoid any abbreviations that has not been used frequently in our scientific community. And try to attract the readers. As I told you, the short, catchy titles are often cited, and your title should be derived from the research question. Like you can see the example quoted there. Try to avoid using the country name in the title. Always address your audience, which are more international in nature, rather than just telling in India, in Pakistan. Try to avoid names of the country in the title. The next thing is your abstract. Abstract, in fact, becomes the advertisement for your work you're doing. Is it not? Yeah. Can I go to the keywords, sir? Can I go to the keywords? Yeah, the previous slide. Yeah, the keywords are very, very important. Now, why I am trying to specify the keywords is another person can utilize the same keywords in order to look out for another article which is more similar. And the more important is the keywords are going to help you to get more citations for in the future for your articles. Always check whether there is a similarity or congruence between the title, the abstract, and the keywords. So that is very, very essential. Next slide. Abstract. Now, why is that abstract is so important? Abstract becomes an advertisement for you because every journal in the index databases always have an abstract. So based on the abstract, a reader can proceed further in reading the whole content by searching for it in the open access journals or pay and get the paper and read it. So make sure that your abstract is brief as possible and it includes the problem, the method, the results, and conclusions. And it should be clearly written in a manner that is easy to understand. Again, you can follow the rule of 10, where you can have 10 lines of abstract, 1 to 2 sentences on the aim, 2 to 3 sentences on materials and methods, 2 to 3 sentences on the results, and 2 sentences on the discussion and conclusion. So it's mandatory we follow this rule of 10. Now you can see the example of a poorly optimized abstract. Now I told you that there should be a similarity or congruence between three important things. That's your title, your abstract, and the keywords. You can find that the title says it's senior population false remembering, but you can see that only the abstract points out there is only one projection of this, and the keywords also points out very minimal amount of this keyword that is used over there. Can I see? Yeah, can you put the next slide, please? In this abstract, which is more clearly said, you can see that whatever has been pointed out of the keywords, this has been projected in the title and it has also been projected in the abstract. So this tells you that there is a congruence between these three important things: title, abstract, and the keywords. So you have to reiterate again and again those keywords in your title as well as in your abstract. Next slide. Next, the background. Now, when you write about the background, it tells the problem you're going to address, and it also tells you what is the gap that you're trying to fill in with the research, what you're doing now. And it should always see to that you address the problem not provided with a local setting, but with using your international literature. That is very, very important. And the background of the introduction should end with the research question or the hypothesis. Next. Now, this is the research question. A clear research statement should be there telling what you're trying to address. You can see the example here. Does continuing professional development improve nurses' management skills? The question is very, very clear, concise, and it's not ambiguous at all. Whereas you see the other question, why do older nurses leave the profession? The question is very, very clear. So that sort of requirement is there when you write for a publication. Yes. Methods. Now, method is something which clearly indicates how another person can replicate the study. So you describe very clearly how this project was taken into consideration so that repetition is possible. And also you can cite the previous procedures, but no need to write the complete procedure. If you're going to restate, it's going to take time and page waste will occur. So just cite clearly from where you're trying to use the same sort of procedure. Again, the manipulation and control should also be very clearly addressed in the methods. Then you should also take care of the sample, discuss about the population, the inclusion, exclusion criteria, the type of sampling, and how you access the participants, the data collection procedure, and the other most important thing that we should never miss out is the ethical considerations. Data collection should include the instruments, what you have used, and remember to mention why you have used this data collection instruments, the validity and reliability if it's a quantitative data, and if it is a qualitative data, please make assurance that you have provided the criteria that you have used in order to ensure the rigor for the qualitative study. It can be the type of data collection you have used or how different methodologies you have used in order to see to that the data that's coming up is more accurate in nature. Again, you try to translate most of the questionnaires. I know we all have local languages in our place, so we try to translate the questionnaires which are more standard in nature in the version of English. So you should mention what is the sort of translation you have used and how this process of interview was done and how the transcripts were recorded. Analysis. Coming to analysis, just take care of the calculation and test that you're doing, specify that, mention clearly, and what is the sort of process of qualitative analysis, what package of statistical package you have used, and if it's a qualitative package, mention that also. In case there is reference that is done with using a similar package, you can also put those references very clearly. Now, coming to the results or findings, now just don't state the results. You no need to discuss in the results, just state the results in the results section. You can put subheadings so that all the results are grouped together and it will avoid the problem of redundancy. At the same time, you can use figures and tables in order to be more efficient and give clarity to the readers. You can also, qualitative research actually combines with discussion. Keep this in mind. Next. When you see the pictures over here, what's more important when you're trying to put your results in figures and tables is very, very important is the caption or the title you give for the results for the figures and the tables, and the legend that you are using should be very clearly self-explanatory in nature, and try to use visualization space. So there should be a balance between both the thing, and often don't try to use so much of colors in your pictures or figures. It's not required. Nowadays, the publishers are very clear in using different sorts of lines when they try to project the graphs. So avoid uncrowded plots and check whether that particular table is necessary. A 2x2 table may not give you much of meaning. So try to avoid unnecessary table and try to project those important data that you have using tables in a perfect manner. Next. Next, sir. Next slide, please. So can you go to the next slide, please? So can I have the next slide? Can I have the person operating the slide to move on to the next slide? When you try to do a qualitative research, always see to that your narrative is as balanced with the data that you're projecting, and you need to give an explanation of the data along with the narrative. So this is very, very important. I think somebody who's moving the slides is not responding.
I'm very sorry. There is a technical problem from Chennai. Just a few seconds, please.
Sir, am I audible? Is there a problem?
No? Kalinga. Matadi, sir.
Am I audible?
Audible, ma'am.
So what I require is just push the slides. Somebody using the slides, can you just push the slides to the next one?
ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಬಂತು ಸರ್.
ಯಾರ್ದು ಸರ್? ನಂದು.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಬಂತು, ಈಗ ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡ್ತೇನೆ ಸರ್.
ಮಾಡಿಬಿಡಿ ಕಳಿಸಿ.
ಪೇಜಸ್ ಇರ್ತೇನೆ.
Sir, I'm able to hear you.
You can come. You can start, madam. Oh, you can. Slide push ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂತ ನೀವು.
ಅಲ್ಲ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ.
No, but no, madam. Video is not clear. Your video is not there. Only audio. Audio also not there. Only sorry.